welcome to another another brand new episode. Welcome to a brand new series. Yes, we are on Bevington Farm, which is the farm that Scroft has built in the middle of Bevington Farm. And as you can see, we've got a small dairy. So the premise of the save is that we were given a brand new New Holland T7 trailer hired. Combine over there hired because there wasn't one in the for sale section. So we were given that much, and we were given 300,000. We were given a loan of 285,000. And as I say, the premise is that the guy before us basically let the farm go to rack and ruin. And we've come along as the heroes, we've taken over, and we're going to rebuild it to its former glory. Now, some important things to say just before we bloody start is that I don't expect this to be a hugely long save. That's the first thing. So there will come a point where, you know, this I think this save is going to naturally sort of meet a kind of conclusion, whether that'll be when we've paid the loan off or when, you know, I don't know, but you know, this one isn't going to drag on like some of them do. But yeah, and also in this save as well, I have got every realistic mod going. So that's realistic livestock, that's realistic tyre wear, so now we're going to have to change tyres on the tractor. We've got realistic breakdowns, we've got realistic weather, we've got realistic loan system, we've got financing system. We will at some point have Terra Farm, but at the moment there is a little bit of an issue with it and I can't quite get it to work properly, but I will. So that's no problem. We will get it to work, but yeah, so we will have Terra Farm as well. So as I say, you start off with a little farm. It's a bit run down, it's a bit, you know, all over the place. You start off with some bales, some cows. So you've got the Holsteins here, and then you've got Limousine over here, and then here, I think, yep. And then you come around here. Now these carpet glue things, whatever you call them, I got to be honest and confess, as much as I know about farming, I have no idea about these sorts of things. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with them, what I'm supposed to anything with them. So probably won't be using them, and they will be a little bit of source of money, because I'll just keep the pens. We've got this grass field here, that grass field there, I think that one behind there, some wheat fields and rape fields out there. So we've got a little bit to start off with. We've got obviously the slurry pit there, that's just decoration. That's the grain silo, that's where the manure gets dumped. I don't really know what that is, to be fair. I think it's just a mound. But again, with Terra Farm, we can get rid of that and level all that off, so that will be sort of nice. And then we've got the bigger sort of Holstein cows here, and yeah, so what is going to be important is at some point getting pens out there in those fields for these bigger cows. But and then we've got a little bit of silage in the clamp to get us going. Right, and I think we've got some seed and some spray in here. Yeah, we do. So that's what we got in there. So I'm also playing with precision farming because that's another sort of realistic mod. So I'm playing with that as well, and we own all this out here as well, and all this out here. Now, another thing that I will say, I will not be playing, well, not that I won't be playing, it'll be there, the option will be there for us to do. I will not be mowing and baling and telling grass, right? The grass system in FS25 is absolute pig soil. And that's the politest way I could think of putting that without swearing, because I did have to really pause then for a second. But it really, really is. Honestly, I'm playing on a map at the moment, and I thought, and I haven't got cows yet, But I bought some new fields, and I think 3 of them were quite big grass fields, right? And I thought, oh, lovely. What I'll do is I want to get animals. I'll mow them. A couple can be silage, one can be hay. Jobs are good. And I had a 410 horsepower John Deere tractor, right? I mowed the grass. That was a treat, right? I went in with the Tedder, 410 horsepower tractor, and the quickest I could get it to go across that field, right, whether tedding or whether the tedder all folded up and sort of just driving across the field, was 6 miles an hour. Honestly, it felt like the tractor was in treacle. It just would not do anything. So I'm not doing it. I've just given up on sort of on grass sort of operations on FS25. I'm just not doing it. It's a complete waste of time. I might consider and have a little go at silaging in terms of using a forager, but again, I'll try that out sort of on my own in my own time, and you own all that out there as well. Just very quickly in a second, I will show you whereabouts we are on Calmston. So it's easier if I go this way. So this is the new loan system, right? This is the new way of doing it. So we've got a loan of 285,000. I'm not sure what that is. I think that might be the interest rate at 3.5%. That's how much we're going to pay each month, and that's how many months we're going to pay it, and then that will total that we will pay that back. Now we can add other loans to that, but obviously at the moment that's not wise. As far as I know, I don't have any other new symbols down here, but if we just have a quick look, so this was field I can't remember what field number, or 28. This was field 28, and that was field 29. So Scrofter's basically built a farm in there and then made the rest of it sort of grass and what have you, and then this side is all joined together now. What's that? That is a sheep pasture, so we've got sheep there as well. And then, as I say, this has all been sort of joined together as one field, and that's where we are. And then if I just scroll out, you can see that the original farm is here. And now maybe at some points we might see the Calmston Farm farming in the area, because they're a rival to us. And then we do have a dairy farm here. Whether we'll be able to get hold of that in the future, who knows. But yeah, so as I say, but that's where we are on Calmston. So as you can see, it is Calmston's Farm, or Oakbridge now I think it's called, because too many people were visiting, which is a bit of a bummer, because I did actually plan to do a video going around all of the farming sim farms, so like Culborough, Calmston. There was a couple of others as well that are real farms, and I was going to Nutston. And I was going to go, as I say, to those farms and do, some videoing, showing you the farm real to the farm sort of on farming sim, but due to a couple of farms that I actually got in touch with, and Calmston being one of them, the farmer was, I forget the guy's name now, but he was impressed that I'd sort of asked rather than just turning up. And he said, like, that makes a nice change. He said, but no, I'm getting fed up with, farming simulator players coming to the farm and, sort of blocking the roads up and, looking and what have you. So I don't know. I might try again in a little while, but I say I won't be doing it for now. But yeah, so as I say, sort of throughout the save, as we're working and driving around Calmston and, sort of doing other bits and pieces, we may well see Calmston Farm out in the fields. Yeah, so this save is a bit of a first for me, because as I say, I've taken on the challenge laid down by Scroft to excuse me, to take on the challenge of Bevington Farm, and it's also it was gonna be a first. Well, it is a first. Me using all the realistic mods, so like realistic tires, realistic damage and wear and breakdowns, and basically any realistic mod, realistic weather. I don't know if I've said. And as I say, and I'm going to call this series the Lonely Farmer series. Now, the reason for that is I'm going to do all of the work myself and not use helpers. So it's going to be interesting to see how that sort of prevails. And now, part of the reason for that is, as far as I can tell, Scroft has put collisions in hedges. Now, we all know, so I can walk through, but I think I'm right in thinking that tractors and stuff can't sort of drive through. Not that I would drive through the hedges myself, but it's really handy if you have a worker who can sort of turn around using the hedge space. So yeah, we're going to call it the Lonely Farmer, and basically we're going to run this farm by ourselves, and we're going to do all the work, so all the combining, all the tractor and trailer driving, all the ploughing, seeding, rolling, spraying, fertilizing, you name it, we're going to do it ourselves. And we're going to see how we get on, because I've never tried anything like that before. And it was also supposed to be a first because we were actually going to include some real people in it. Well, a real person in it, because there's only one. But unfortunately, so last Monday I was due to start recording this, and it would have gone out today as I record this on sort of like the next week's Monday, the next Monday. It was due to go out today, but as I say, I plan to have Ray in the episode. So the idea of the episode was going to be, or the series was going to be, that Ray had bought this little farm with his pension, because we all know that old age pensioners get £1 billion every week. You never see a poor pensioner, do you? Well, certainly I don't anyway. And I do tease him about it. But the premise was going to be that he had bought the farm, and basically I'm a young lad in the area that he knows of that's really into farming, and he was going to take me on to run the farm, hence the Lonely Farmer. Right, that's the bit where that was going to come from, in the sense that he was a farmer and he was lonely, and I was going to do all the work, and he wouldn't come out into the fields and help with anything. So I got yesterday. I said to Ray, I said, are you coming down to do the video tomorrow? Yep, won't miss it, he said. I said, fantastic. I said, I can't wait to see you, my friend. I said, what time you come in? So he said, I'll be there at 7. I said, you're a bit early there, mate. I said, no one in the house will be up at 7. I said, I'll be up at 7. I said, but no one else will. I said, come at 9. He said, 9 o'clock it is. And then I get a phone call at about, I don't know, 10 past 9. And he says to me, I'm not coming. I says, why? You're not very well. I said, are you all right? Do you need anything? He said, no. He said, I'm fine. He said, yesterday at Tesco's, met an old friend. He said, and we're going for breakfast this morning. I said, Ray, you had an appointment? He said, yeah. He said, that's a bloody computer game. I can be in that whenever. Okay, fair enough. So whether Ray makes an appearance or not, I don't know. But he was going to have a speaking part. He was going to, we were going to try and do a sort of little bit character-based story. But, well, I might still try and do that. But I think Ray's probably not going to be in it as regular as what I'd hoped. And I'm not clever enough to record it and then let him do the voiceovers in the right bit. My editing and sort of recording skills are very limited, as we know from every series that I've ever done. But so I'm not clever enough to do that. So I do actually need Ray to talk. I do have 2 microphones, so Ray can talk whilst we're in it. And I was going to get him to share some stories and sort of do a few things. But I mean. The other thing he said to me this morning was, he said, you could actually have me in the video even though I'm not there. I said, how's that going to work then? He said, you can do my voice perfectly. So I said, yeah, I know. I said, but I kind of want you in thingy. He said, yeah, but he said, it does take the pressure off me a little bit that if I wake up, because I mean, he's in his sort of late 80s, early 90s now. He's somewhere around it. He won't tell me exactly how old he is. I'm just going to remove the tree. I don't like trees in farming sim. Anyone that knows me knows that. So, but he said, like, if there's a day when I don't feel quite up to it, he said, then, at least I can still be sort of in the video and you talking. So I said, we'll let people hear you first. I said, and then we will sort of maybe have to resort to that there later. Right, we've done 57%. So we ain't getting around again. Don't really want to be driving all the way back. So we'll get out. Lord knows why we was looking up there. And then we will get in this and we will move this forward. So yeah. Anyway, so I hope you're going to enjoy the series. So as I say, it's something a little bit different for me. It's always sort of nice to try new things and different things. Oh, for goodness, do you know what? That is one thing about Farming Simulator that I hate. I go next to this machine and I still get in the New Holland. But yeah, so right, we'll unload that into there. As I say, the tractor is ours. We were given that at the start, but everything else that you see in this picture here is leased. Because we, as I say, don't have a combine and we don't have a trailer, don't have anything. So we're going to have to try and buy it. And because one of the first things that we're going to need to buy is a forklift, or at least put a front loader on that New Holland if that's possible. And we're also going to need to buy something to feed our animals with. Like I say, we're not going to be doing grass. I may bale straw, I don't know yet, I've not decided, but I am trading it just in case I do fancy having a go at it. But we will just buy our hay bales and silage bales in, and yeah, it's obviously a more expensive way of doing it, but I'm not putting up with the rubbish way that grass is done in this game. I'm absolutely the rows keep disappearing when you're sort of rowing or when you're baling, and then they reappear just as you get to them. Honestly, it looks awful. Its user friendliness is awful, so I'm just not doing it. As I say, we'll just buy our bales in, and I might even decide to do that with the straw bales and just buy them in. Yes, it's a more expensive way of doing it. I don't really want to do it that way, but like I say, I'm not I'm not doing grass with and I haven't got a 410 horsepower tractor. So I tried it on the vent. I even tried it on the quad track, and even that was struggling to get over the grass. And it's just absurd. It really is just absurd. And why Giants have not made that a priority, I do not know. You go into Farming Sim 22, you take the lowest horsepower tractor that you've got, right, and you try and drive it across the grass field, and it behaves as it should. It drives across the grass field, but it won't I mean, if you go too low with the horsepower, and I have played around with it because I thought it was me, so I've played around with it, and but yeah, if your tractor is too low horsepower, like, you can get 1 mile an hour out of it just driving over the grass, and honestly, like, as I say, it's shocking, and I'm not going to go on about it anymore. But we're not doing grass. So we will be able to turn our grass fields over, some of them over to arable. So it means we will have a few more arable fields, because we're not going to be able to really afford to buy any for a while. The money that's gone, because we started off with 300,000. The money that's gone is gone on all the loan equipment, hire equipment. I do have the buy used equipment, so mod. So I'll be able to go in there. I'll be able to click on something brand new and then tell it to find me at second hand. I do have that mod. We will be using that mod. I can't remember whether I set it up before I started recording or not, to look for a combine and to look for a few things, because, you know, as I say, we're going to need things quite quickly. I don't want to keep leasing because obviously that's dead money. You know, I would rather invest in machinery that we can use all the time. So, and I've seen in the used machinery part bit, I've seen that there is a set of Verdestat rolls in there, so we will be buying them because you know, we're going to need a set of rolls. The other thing as well is with the money situation and the fact that we're playing with precision farming, you know, we may not in the beginning be able to afford to get all of to purchase the ground information. So it could be that we end up getting the little thing and doing it ourselves, and, you know, just taking the soil samples ourselves, or it would just be that for a couple of years, you know, we'll just have to miss out on yield, and miss out on sort of you know, money, until we can afford to get that to be done. I don't know whether in real life farmers do it themselves, or whether a firm would come in and do it. I'm not sure. We did used to do our own soil samples, but we used to do them for foot and mouth, because I think it was every 3 years, our rotation worked out that fields would go into veg, and then once the veg was harvested, or, you know, like for sort of cauliflower fields and stuff, we would probably only harvest half of the field, and then they would sort of go a bit past their best. So then we'd put sheep in there, and they would basically, you know, sort of eat the rest of the cauliflowers and produce us an awful lot of you know, organic manure, and do it that way. But obviously we had to have the fields tested for foot and mouth, because we couldn't have the sheep in there if there was a risk of them getting foot and mouth. So, but we used to do that ourselves. But I don't know whether for like precision farming, whether you do it yourselves. I mean, a couple of videos that I've seen where they're doing a similar type thing, they had a firm down that had a quad bike, and a bit like GeoFizz, and they just rode up and down the field on the quad bike, and it was basically scanning the ground as they were going. So again, to add another cost, we might just purchase the information. I mean, it might not be that expensive to purchase, but it's not a priority at the moment. A priority at the moment is we need, you know, you know, stuff to feed our cows with. Otherwise, they're going to start dying off on us, and we don't want that. And you know, we're also going to need drills, plows, cultivators, and everything else. So anyway, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over to a little bit of time lapse, and I'm going to get these fields harvested, and then we'll meet at the end and call it a draw. Is that okay? That's dear. That's a saying from my childhood days. My dad, God rest his soul, every time he would say, like, we would do something, he'd say, right, we'll get on with this, then you get on with that, he says, and then at the end we'll meet in the bar and call it a draw. I don't know why he used to say that to me, but he did. So there you go. But as I say, I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse. We'll get these fields harvested, and then we'll see where we're at. So I'll see you in a bit.
Lying in the dark.
So we're back, and we're getting on quite nicely, actually. That field done. Horrendous GPS lines in that field. Honestly, it really does wind me up. Why, GPS and Giants' GPS can't just pick the straightest line from point A to point B, and we go from there. I have no idea why it has to insist on doing as the most waviest lines ever. I mean, have they never ever been in a tractor and seen, or on a farm and seen how, Trimble and all of the other GPS systems that there are available work? None of them work from doing that in a field. I mean, honestly, it was horrendous. The only problem was I'd already done a breed through the field before I realised how bad it was going to be, and I couldn't really then sort of do whatever. So I'm letting it help me on the headlands on here, and then I'll probably do the middle of the field myself, because the chances are that I can drive from point A to point B in a reasonably straight line. I'm not going to say it's going to be dead straight, but it'll be reasonably straight, because that's just horrendous. And it's another thing that Giants need to sort out. Obviously you accept it around the outside of the field because it's following the shape of the field. That's fine. That's fair enough. But through the middle of the field, it should just pick the straightest point from A to B, and then you set the guidance lines on that. And yeah, you may well get a gauze and stuff either side of the field, and but that doesn't matter. That happens in real life. That doesn't matter at all. That you're going to end up with short work either side. That's fine. But honestly, I sat here, it was making me so angry. I wanted to stop the whole thing, completely delete all the video that I'd done this morning, and just completely start again. It made me that angry. It really does play my OCD up something terrible. But anyway, we persevered for a field, and now that we've persevered, we've got over that. So I'm going to let it help me around the edge, the headlands of this field, and then I'll probably end up doing the middle of the field myself, because I'm not doing that again. But yeah. Anyway, I am going to leave this episode here. So as I said before, just very quickly, I've got a sort of new thing that I'm trying, where I'm trying to keep all of my videos to a maximum of 35 minutes, but aiming for around 25 minutes. Not quite mastered it yet because I like talking. I don't know if you've noticed, and it does mean that then I run over the time. But I ran over in the beginning of this episode, but I didn't mind that because I was explaining, what the series was, what we were going to be doing, what we were using, and stuff like that. So that I'm fairly accepting of that this morning. In today's recording, but yeah, moving forward, every series now, it's going to be is aiming for 25 minutes, but extending to 35 minutes, just because we might be trying to just get something done or whatever, so we give ourselves a sort of give and take 10 minutes. But yeah, so as I say, hopefully, fingers crossed, moving forward, that's how we're going to try and structure the channel and the videos, because I think 45, 50, over an hour is just too long, and so therefore, as I say, I'm going to try and do it, and I may well as well. I may well be getting rid of the chatty videos as well, because again, they run into being really long videos. I'm not overly sure how well received they are. They don't get any more views than any other videos, and I know there is one or two people out there that do like the chatty videos, but I think by and large they need to go. I'm not saying they all you know, we'll never have another one. I'm just saying that there will be a lot less, you know, because we were doing sort of at least 2 a week. You know, it might now be that we'll do 2 a month or something. You know, as I say, I'm sort of trying new things. I'm trying to get YouTube to work for me. I'm trying to get more views. I'm trying to get more subscribers and different things. And so, you know, the only way I can do that is to try new things, because the definition of madness is to do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. So we're trying new things, we're mixing it up a little bit, see what works. You know, this might not even make a difference, but you know, we've got to give it a go, and we'll, you know, give it a go for, you know, a good 6-7 months, see what happens. And hopefully, as I say, everyone will sort of like it a little bit more. And don't forget as well, I am on Discord now, so you can come and chat to me over on there if you want to. For anyone as well that might be interested, I'm not going to put it up on YouTube. So if you message me on Discord or whatever, then you know, you can also WhatsApp me as well. Yeah, so you know, as I say, there's a few ways of getting in touch now. It doesn't have to be by YouTube comments anymore. I am on Discord, and you can come and say hi. The link is in the channel bio page, where the coffee link is. So, as I say, you can go there, just click on that, and then that will take you to my Discord page. And it's been really, really nice, because quite a few people, since I put that up on Wednesday, have been over and said hello, which is really nice. And you know, as I say, the more the merrier. And then once we start to get a bit of a gathering there, if you like, a community, then we can start doing some stuff. Also, as well, you guys can help me out. You know, I'm not the most technical advanced person in the world, and this is going to sound like, and lots of you are going to laugh, and you know, I just have to take that on the chin, because I don't know. Am I supposed to be posting stuff on there every day? Am I supposed to be doing stuff to get you all involved, or is it a case of, you know, I wait until you guys come over and then, you know, am I supposed to be sharing stuff? Let me know. Let me know how I can get the best out of Discord, so that you guys can then come over, say hello, and get the best out of it as well. But anyway, as for now, I am going to leave this episode here, because we have, as I say, this episode has slightly run over what we're trying to do, but it was the first episode in a brand new series. So, as I say, we'll excuse it for today. So thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you're going to enjoy the series, and you can get behind the series and really like it. As always, you know, share it everywhere you can. You know, share anything off my YouTube channel anywhere you can, because the more eyes that come onto the channel, the better. And if you've liked this episode, why not give it a thumbs up? And if you like me, you like the sound of things to come, and you know, what have you, why not hit that subscribe button? Completely free to do so. And you know, you'll get notifications every time I drop a video, which is fantastic, which is every day at 3 PM. Thanks ever so much for watching. I can't wait to see you again next time. Bye for now.